Today I want to focus on third episode of Stranger Things, third episode of first season, and at the beginning of this episode we see that Barbara is being killed or kidnapped by something. Nancy, her friend, and with the help of Steve later, they are looking for her, and something is foul here. Nancy is thinking that something wrong is going on in Hawkins, but especially this episode is also interesting because of the kids. The kids want to use Eleven, and Eleven is going to show them where Will is hiding. And at the end, when she's taking them to this place, they are accusing her of lying, but they don't know about this two-dimensional reality that we have our world and we have upside down world. So they don't know that Will is hiding near his house, but in the upside down reality. Also, in this episode, we see that Eleven and experiments on Eleven that Dr. Bremer, her let's say stepfather, tried to use her powers to some dangerous abilities, to some dangerous tasks, especially to hurt innocent. For example, we have the first test that she's going to crush a can of Coca-Cola, I think, or Pepsi, and later she's ordered to hurt a cat, but she's not able to do this. Instead, she is being taken to this, let's say, prison cell, and she's breaking the necks of two guards who were tossing her to this cell. But let's say this was like a self-defense, so this was a really emotional and dangerous. So we will give Eleven this kind of. Okay, but still she wasn't able to kill a cat, but she broke the necks with her telekinetic powers of two guardsmen. But as I said, they attacked her and they wanted to take her to this dangerous dark prison cell. So it was rather a self-defense. And in the experiment with the cat, she was ordered just to hurt him, although the cat didn't do anything wrong. So we also see that Dr. Bremer is using her powers as some kind of tool to achieve something. We don't know what he's planning. And of course, we have Hopper, which is a sheriff of Hawkins, and he is finally he's finally checking this mysterious building, which should be a Ministry of Electricity, but it's of course this laboratory when Eleven was being kept and being interrogated, and other experiments were done on her. Finally, Hopper is is like no, is a little bit suspicious about this laboratory, and he's suspicious because he's asking for the tapes, and they are showing him the tapes, but the tapes not from the day he wanted them to do. So he knows that they are lying to him about something. So we have all these different opinions about what is happening with Will, who is 11, and so on. And of course we have my favorite, I would say, bully. I would say that Troy is secondary character, or even less than secondary character. He's only being shown in first season of Stranger Things. That I think that his appearance, his look, and his behavior is really appropriate. Is really showing the real mid-schooler bully. So he's in a way just a kid, but a kid who can be also mean and dangerous, and he's to some extent known because there is a suspicion that Will is queer, is gay, but I'm not sure why Troy knows about it. Maybe because Will was always a little bit like kick off or stay away from things, or he liked drawing, so maybe that's why they called him gay or queer. But it is a little bit weird, a little bit, but nevertheless I would say that Troy is my favorite secondary character right now. He's only unfortunately in first season, but his character, this he is vicious, he's mean, but he's still a kid. So it's still rather cute to watch him being this vicious guy. He later in the episodes he will try to even to hurt our heroes, our kids, especially Mike, because Mike is the best friend of Will and he's the leader of what we should do next. And he is cooperating with Eleven about this topic of finding Will. But still, I would say that Troy for me was a really very charismatic person for a secondary character. And also the sound effects in especially in parts of the episode when Eleven is left alone in Mike's house, and she's, for example, seeing all these things in his apartment, and she's especially amazed by the TV. For her it's a really interesting, cool gadget. So we are aware that she wasn't able to use TV, or even didn't know that such thing as TV exists in our world. But the music is really cool. It's really climactic. It's really cool, climactic, and very chill out. But at the end of the episode is maybe the most emotionally intensifying, because we have this really sad song called Heroes. You can find this song on YouTube. And it is about Will, because Dr. Bremer suspected that only vanishing will not suffice to convince Hopper and others that it was just a simple case. So he and his team decided to use some kind of let's say a body of Will. We are not sure right now. At the end of the third episode, we are still not believing that this is a real Will, because he's in a way connecting to its mother Joyce. But nevertheless, the kids are sure of this, because at the end of the episodes, the Eleven is taking them to the Will house, but they know that this is his apartment, his home, but this is not where he is hiding. And of course, they don't know that he's hiding here near this house, but in the upside down world. So they are angry at Eleven that she lied to them about it, and she didn't. Only they don't know about the upside down yet. So I would say that this episode is really interesting in a way that Stranger Things began as a, let's say, teenage horror movie. It's a teenage horror movie, PG, I think 16, but in a very interesting concept of upside down world. What is this upside down world? What is Demogorgon? What is really doing Dr. Bremer? Is he aware of the upside down? Is he aware of Demogorgon? And of course, this mysterious girl Eleven, she's played by a British actress, Miley Bobby Brown. And I think that even though later seasons they accused Miley Bobby Brown of rather weak performance, especially in different TV or movie series, I would say that for a girl, for a girl, let's say, she was 11 at the time of recording these episodes. She was a really good actress. I would say that playing as 11 was really convincing by her, because for example 11 is not talking much. She's almost like an autistic kid, very untrustful. She's not aware of her powers to some extent, or what are the real reasons of her powers. And she almost play like she's a kid with mute disorder or something like that. So I would say that this is really, she's a really good actress as 11. Even though I didn't watch other movies with her, especially Enola or others, I would say that as 11 she's a good, convincing actress. And kids, uh, although they are also cute, beautiful, and innocent, they still, as actors, are really well convincing of her roles. Mike as the leader, Lucas as the one which is doubt about anything, and the third kid, I forgot his name unfortunately. They are all convincing. They are all convincing in their own roles. So this because I would say, Stranger Things is probably second right now, but it was the first most popular TV series on Netflix platform, and I would say that this genre is still recognizable. Is the best recognizable TV series of Netflix television. And we have more games in this world. We have we are like VR games. We have like board games, and of course we have comics. For example, we have a comic which is right now quite expensive, about what Will was doing in the Upside Down, for example. So we have this good looking like Thorgal comics, number of issues about Dr. Bremer, our kids, and also we have an animation movie which is taking place after the end of the second season. Also very cool, very interesting. I didn't watch it, but I think it will be a good example of how a new genre, because Duffer Brothers invented this conception of Upside Down and of Stranger Things in a horror uh, teenage movie, and horrors are not likable movies because they always want to scare us and something like that. But Stranger Things is doing a really good job at showing us the mysterious of Stranger Things and the Upside Down, the dread of the Demogorgon in a way, the foul play, what is going on, is Dr. Bremer is controlling everything, who is controlling the Upside Down, who is controlling the Demogorgon. All these questions are really interesting. So I would say that the third episode is, its ending is really climactic. I would advise you to download and hear this really sad song Heroes. And it's really heartbreaking when Mike is telling Eleven that she lied to him, that Will is really dead, and something like that. It was really going through your into your heart that something terrible has happened, even though we don't believe that Will is really dead. But I would say that. And of course we have these other heroes like teenagers who are maybe less interesting than our kids, because they are the main crew of the TV series. But teenagers, Nancy, Steve friends, they are also doing a very good part of showing us uh, how teenagers would react in such reality, because kids in a way are cute and innocent, and they are good in a way, like their nature is good. But teenagers act differently. For example, we have conflict between Steve and Nancy. We have conflict between Steve and older brother of Will, because they accused him of kidnapping Will, or maybe doing even something worse to him. His brother was always like an outsider, and he's also a teenager. So, for example, in this episode, I think they broke his camera because they accused him of doing pictures of them having a party at the end of second episode. And even the Winona Ryder, as a mother of Will, is doing a really great job of being this, in a way, Jewish mother, let's say. But this is the stereotype of all mothers, that she's worried, she's panicking. Will, in a way, won't, and in this episode is contacting her through various means. So she will not believe in fourth episode that Will is really dead. She will not believe Hopper about this whole story. And Winona Ryder, as an older actress, is doing also fairly good job, even though I wouldn't say she's a very good actress. She was a beautiful actress, because she's a Jewish actresses are rather pretty. She's maybe not top of the actresses in Hollywood, but from the perspective of being known as an actress, it's it's a top tier of Hollywood actresses. And especially it's successful for her, are being in a woman in past her 40s, to do this kind of very good, or even the best TV series of let's say last 5 years, and especially the most recognizable TV series of the past, let's say, 5 or even 10 years. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about third episode? What do you think about it? What do you think about 11? What do you think about Troy? For me, he is a really interesting, cool, bullying-like character. And what do you think about the climate of first episode, because of this third episode? Because generally speaking, when you see, for example, the score on Rotten Tomatoes or other pages which give scores to TV series, first season is top. They say, and fans are agreeing on this, that the first season was the best episode, the best season of Stranger Things. Do you agree with it? Do you don't agree with it?